Hi guys, it's Miss Simon. So I wanted to make this video today to help you guys out with science. So yesterday you did watch an Edpuzzle video that talked about our next unit in science. So our next unit is going to be about Earth's systems, which you kind of learned yesterday. Okay, you learned yesterday too that Earth has 4 different spheres, 4 different systems. And that's what we're going to start talking about today. We're going to start talking about the first system, which is known as the geosphere. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and remember with science, if I highlight it, you need to add it into your science notebook. Okay, and then make sure you answer the questions in the Edpuzzle as this goes along, because you'll be able to use your notes for the quizzes that you take. So if I highlight it or I tell you to write it down, make sure you write it down in your notebook. And if you need to pause it at any time to write stuff down, make sure you do that. Okay. All right, let me share my screen here. All right, so Earth's systems, okay? So the first system that we're going to talk about today is called the geosphere, which you learned a little bit about in the video from yesterday. So go ahead and put that into your notes, please. Geosphere at the top. All right, moving on. All right, so like we said before, Earth itself, okay, it's not alive. We know that, okay? However, Earth is made up of 4 major systems that make it the only planet in our solar system that supports life, okay? So our unit, this whole unit is going to be about those 4 systems. And you can see the 4 systems here: the atmosphere, the biosphere, the geosphere, and the hydrosphere. Okay. And we're going to, in this unit, we're going to be learning about each of these systems. Today, we're going to pay particular attention to the geosphere. That's what we're going to be talking about for the next few days. Okay. But go ahead and add this into your notes, please. Earth is made up of 4 major systems that make it the only planet in our solar system that supports life. So go ahead and add that in there, please. So Earth is the only planet in our solar system that supports life, and it has those 4 major systems. Again, today we're focusing on the geosphere. If you look at the word geosphere, you might think of, look at that prefix of geo. We can think of other words that come with the geosphere, have that prefix geo in it. Okay. So if we think of geography, geography is the study of land. So that kind of help us in trying to figure out what the geosphere is all about. All right, so the geosphere is the system that includes rocks, minerals, and landforms that shape Earth, okay? So geo is everything that has to do with the Earth. So it's the system that includes rocks, minerals, and landforms, okay? So all of the actual Earth itself, the rocks that make up the ground, the minerals, the landforms, the land, okay? So geosphere is focusing on that land. All right, so go ahead and add this into your notes. Earth systems, geosphere at the top. And then what geosphere is. The geosphere is the system that includes rocks, minerals, and landforms that shape Earth. And geo itself means Earth, okay? Like I said in geography, okay? Geo means Earth. Geography is the study of land, the study of Earth. So go ahead and add that. The prefix geo means Earth. So when we're talking about geosphere, we're talking about everything that's the rocks, the minerals, the landforms themselves. This picture is very helpful. I would also include this in your notes as well, because it kind of shows you all the different spheres and what they include. So take a minute and jot that down. All right, moving on. Remember, if you need to pause it at any time, feel free. All right, so our rocky planet, Earth, like some other planets in our solar system, is composed of rock. So Earth is made entirely of rock. What other planets are considered rocky planets, we can kind of think of, we think of all the different planets in our solar system. Okay, we know that Mercury is a rocky planet. Okay, we know that Mars is a rocky planet. Okay, so our planet formed over billions of years as small pieces of rock collided and combined. So the way Earth was formed was all these pieces of rock called asteroids in space just happened to hit each other, and they combined together, and more hit each other and hit each other and hit each other, and all of a sudden you got the Earth out of it. Okay, that's why Earth is composed completely of rock. So go ahead and add that to your notes, please. Earth, like some other planets in our solar system, is composed of rock. It's made entirely of rock. And go ahead and add this into your notes as well, guys. So the way why Earth is composed of rock and made entirely of rock is because of those asteroids that combined together. They kept hitting each other, and they combined to eventually form what we know as Earth. So our planet formed over billions of years as small pieces of rock called asteroids collided and combined. All right, moving right along. So how did this happen? Okay, we call this something we call the snowball effect. Okay, so if you kind of think of this like a snowball, maybe many of you guys played in the snow the other day because it snowed. Okay, it's kind of like that. When you're making a snowman, in order for the snowman to grow, okay, you have to make those snowballs, and you need a big one for the base, a medium-sized one, and then a small one at the top. Okay. And how you get that snowball is you keep rolling it in the snow and rolling it and rolling it and rolling it to create it. Okay, that's very similar to how Earth was formed. An asteroid would hit another asteroid, and then it would get bigger, and then it would hit another one, and it would get bigger, and it would hit another one, and then it would get bigger, just like a small snowball is formed. So go ahead, add this into your notes. The formation of Earth, a snowball effect. So the formation of Earth is very similar to that of making a snowball. That's why we call it the snowball effect. The Earth, the rock kept hitting another rock, and it would combine and get bigger and bigger and bigger, just like a snowball does. Moving on. Okay, so this is a snowball effect explained. So just like with the snowball, when Earth formed, the newer particles formed the new outer layer. This means that the oldest material is found in the very center. So just like your snowball, you start with that original snowball, that original small snowball, and then it rolls, you roll it and roll it and roll it, and it gets bigger and bigger. But now that original snowball is all the way in the center. And that's exactly like Earth is as well. Okay, so the new particles formed new outer layers. That means the oldest material, the oldest amount of Earth is found in the very center, and it's called the inner core. So go ahead and add this into your notes, please. Snowball effect. And just like with the snowball, when Earth formed, the newer particles formed new outer layers. This means that the oldest material can be found in the very center, which is called the inner core. Okay, so the oldest material of Earth is at the very center of it, and it's called the inner core. Remember, these are all part of something we call the geosphere, because geosphere is the Earth itself, all that land. Moving on. So the makeup of Earth. So as Earth grew larger, what happened to the force of gravity on the planet? This also caused the pressure to increase as well, and different layers started to form. Okay, so the pressure of Earth getting bigger is why we have these different layers. Because as you can see in this previous picture, we have 4 different layers of the Earth that we're going to talk about. Well, what caused those layers is the pressure increased and started to form different layers. Go ahead and add that to your notes. The makeup of Earth. This also caused, so that snowball effect, that asteroids hitting other asteroids, caused the pressure to increase and different layers started to form on Earth. All right, moving right along. So here are your different layers of the Earth, okay? This is a very important slide, okay? So you're gonna need to draw this in your notes. You are going to need to know what layer is which and where it's located on the Earth, okay? So go ahead and make sure you put the layers of the Earth. And draw this picture for me, please. So the inner core, like we talked about, is the very center. It's the deepest layer. It's all the way in the center of the Earth. That's what we call the inner core. Okay, so it's this light yellow one here. Then outside the inner core, we have the outer core. Okay, so that was the next layer that was formed. That's kind of this darker yellow. Then the next layer, this layer right here, is called the mantle, which is this orange color here. And finally, our newest layer, our thinnest layer, which we'll learn about is actually the layer that we live on, is called the crust. And it's this little black piece here. Okay, so the newest layer is the crust, which again, we'll learn that's the layer that we are living on. And as you can see from this picture, the Earth itself is pretty deep. Make sure, again, this picture is very important, so please make sure you put it in your notes. All right, so which layer of the Earth would be considered the oldest? Okay, if we're looking at this picture, remember our oldest is in the center, so our oldest would be, if you said inner core, you are correct. All right, guys, so that is all that we are going to talk about for today. Okay, so tomorrow we will actually look at what these 4 layers are and how they are made up and what they consist of. Okay, so again, what the first sphere we're talking about is the geosphere. Okay, and the geosphere, remember, geo means earth, and it includes all of your rocks, your landforms, okay, everything like that. Okay, and the way Earth was made was something we call the snowball effect. Those asteroids hitting each other and ultimately getting bigger and bigger and forming Earth. All right, guys, so I hope that this video is helpful. Make sure you answered all those Ed puzzle questions, and I'll see you later. Bye.